Yes. Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a very pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things. And on this pleasant Sunday Stuff and Things, we are going to talk about stuff and things, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and Stuff and Things Plays. We will tackle the question as to why I chose to censor myself in my last video. We have several comments and questions about that. And then we have a lot of good feedback, especially about last week's Sunday Stuff and Things in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get going. Okay, upcoming videos. We have lots of stuff, lots of stuff in the hopper, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to all of this because there are so many things I want to do. But for next week, the video that's coming up on Wednesday, we will have the full review of Seattle Pipe Club Hogshead. I did the first impressions video last week. I've been enjoying this for the last week. I have finally developed my final thoughts on this, and I just recorded the full review. That will be posting this Wednesday. If you saw the first impressions, you will know that I was kinda about this blend. Now that I've had a chance to really delve into it, you should see what my final thoughts are on Wednesday. Then, we were talking last week about timeless style, mostly in regards to men's fashion because I am a man and I wear men's clothing. And we got so much good feedback about things that I should maybe do if I end up doing this series on timeless, iconic pieces of menswear. And I think I would like to do that soon. I think I'd like to start the series, and I think the first thing that I'm going to do is this. This is a Baracuta, spelled B-A-R-A-C-U-T-A, not like the fish. And this is a classic Harrington jacket. It's their G9, and it's a British company. This jacket has been around for a very long time. I think kind of first prominently in the 50s. And it is just a classic. It's fantastic. This particular one is made in England. It's in a size 40. It's got this beautiful check lining, tartan lining. This is in the natural color. I think it's kind of the most classic color. I think they were originally available in a navy blue, a black, and this classic natural color. And it's just a fantastic jacket. I've had it for quite a few years now. Well, I've had one for several years. I've had this one. I got my first one about 10 years ago. I've had this one for about 4 years, I think. And it's just great. It's classic. You can't go wrong. So I think I'm gonna do this jacket as the very first part of the Timeless Style series. And I've also got things like, I've got quite a few things that I actually have in my possession, but we also have like a pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarer sunglasses. Super classic. You've seen these countless times, I'm sure. Ray-Ban Wayfarers may do just a classic pair of Ray-Ban, wait, I cannot snap my case, I cannot make a sentence. Ray-Ban Aviator sunglasses as well. I wear these quite a bit. Sunglasses, Aviators by Ray-Ban. I've got a Gloverall duffel coat. I've got lots of things that I would consider iconic and timeless. And then, as I mentioned, when we get into the feedback, we're going to read a lot of other really good suggestions from you. So, lots of stuff coming up. Of course, we also have the Elden Ring series every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Stuff and Things Plays, and you should definitely check that out if you haven't already. It is a fantastic game and a really fun series. So, stay tuned for lots of good stuff in the future. All right, so in last week's video, it was the first impressions video for Seattle Pipe Club Hogshead. You may have noticed, if you watched that video, that when I was doing certain things in the video, a giant version of my head would pop up and block out part of the screen. And I had one person, actually I had several people mention this in the comments for that video. I just took one here. This is from Matthew Long. Matthew says, "Nice video as always, Bradley. I prefer a straight Virginia, not keen on obvious toppings. But what's with the huge cutout face covering the lighting of the pipe? Surely it has not come to the point where you can't show us this part of Essing AP. Hope all's well, take care." Well, Matthew, you were not the only one to ask that question. Quite a few people did. And the fact of the matter is, is that we have come to this point, as far as I can tell. And this is something I don't want to go too in-depth in because we've talked about these things before in the past. We say S'ing and P's as, to me, a slightly humorous way of avoiding any issues we may have on the Sunday video. I don't do that in videos that I have demonetized. I don't try to monetize videos that are dealing specifically with a pipe blend or the pipe hobby because it's pointless. They will not be monetized, or they will definitely be demonetized by YouTube. But not too long ago, I did a video that was a first impressions video, and it had gotten to the point where those videos were becoming age restricted. Now, I already post on every video, I click the button that says this is not meant for children, it is meant for adults. But now it has gotten to the point where if certain things are in the videos, YouTube will age restrict the video, and then no one can watch it unless they are signed into their account. And many people do not sign into their accounts. And also, YouTube just doesn't show age-restricted videos to people as often. They don't put it in front of people as often. And the last video I had that was age-restricted, they will show you a time code to show exactly what it was that made the video age-restricted. And it was me. I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to mime it on the video. But it was basically me lighting the P. And it seems that if I show that now, the video will be age restricted. And so the few videos I had done since then, I just would edit that out. But I thought it was kind of funny to just put a giant face in front of that. I'm poking fun at the fact that we have gotten to this point, but I am also trying to make sure that my videos don't get age restricted. So that's kind of where we are. I'm taking it all in stride. I think in some ways it offers opportunities for humor. Some people seem to get really upset and annoyed by it. Whatever, you know, it is what it is. This is what we have to deal with right now. People are always going to be telling me that I should move off YouTube. I understand that. I still don't see a real viable alternative for that, and it only affects certain videos. Most of my videos are fine, and I still like posting those videos here. YouTube has a lot of issues, but there are a lot of good things about it as well. So that's kind of where we are. You'll get a giant head blocking things out occasionally on my videos. I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of fun. And we'll just make sure that we don't get our videos age restricted. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that people had for last week's video. But now, gang, we have so much feedback, lots of good questions in hashtag #AskStuffandThings, and I would like to get to those now so we have time to get through all of them. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, tweet at @SATBradley with the hashtag #AskStuffandThings. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can ask me questions via Patreon and you will go to the front of the line. Also, you can leave me comments on my YouTube videos if you have questions or feedback for the video that you were watching, or just general questions. Leave me comments. I go through all of them. I don't answer all of them, but I read all of them and I try to pick out good questions and good feedback. So first, via YouTube, we have a question from... I seem to have forgotten to put the person's name on here. I apologize for that, but it says, I have a couple of unopened Dunhill Elizabethan mixture tins. Bought them just before they got discontinued by Dunhill. Lucky you. How long should I age them for them to get to the best taste? It's been about 2 to 3 years so far, I think. I mean, I don't know if there's any specific formula you can go by. You could keep them closed, sealed for 20 years, and I think they'd still taste pretty amazing. I think maybe a sweet spot would be 5, 6, 7 years. You're gonna get a lot out of it. I think you'll get kind of diminishing returns maybe after that, but with a straight Virginia or a vapor blend like this, I mean, you could go 20 years and it would be fine. 2 to 3 years, it's still gonna be good. You're gonna get some age there, it's gonna mellow things out, it's gonna marry the flavors a bit. So there aren't any hard and fast rules. I think it's just kind of how long you're willing to wait. Maybe put one aside for long term and maybe crack one now or in a year from now. I think you're gonna enjoy it either way. Next, from Fede U. Here's a Q for you. We don't have to censor Q. Question's fine. What's the most complex, in a good way, as in multi-dimensional developing experience blend that you have ever tasted? Thanks in advance. I have thought a lot about this, and I cannot pick out one particular blend that's the most complex, because I could just say, oh, this blend has the most disparate components in it. Something like, you know, like the classic Peterson nightcap that has Orientals, Virginias, Latakia, Perique, pretty much anything you can think of except, I guess, Cavendish has been thrown in there, kind of a kitchen sink blend. But I don't know if the flavor profile is necessarily super complex. So it's kind of hard for me to put my finger on that. I think a lot of people in the comments would have some good suggestions. Things like that, though, like Ashton Artisans, a blend. If you see a blend and you read the components, and if you're have representatives from most of the major categories of pipe teas, Virginias, Burleys, Latakias, maybe a Cavendish, maybe a Perique. If you see a lot of those things in there, you're probably going to taste a lot of those things in the blend. It's not necessarily going to work really well because you have to worry about balance and whether or not these flavors will marry together. But yeah, look for something like that. Maybe Ashton Artisans, Dunhill Nightcap, or Peterson Nightcap, and I'm sure people in the comments will have some good suggestions. Next, from Ashes of the Phoenix. I've got a Sunday question for you, Bradley. You don't like Cavendish. Usually. I'm guessing because it's an artificially flavored Virginia or Burley. You seem to like the natural flavors of tea leaves. What if a tea leaf existed that naturally tastes like black Cavendish? Would you then possibly enjoy the flavor? It's not that I don't like the flavor of black Cavendish, I don't like the feel of black Cavendish. Brown Cavendish is different, but black Cavendish typically comes along with that gloopiness that I don't appreciate in a blend. So it has nothing to do with the flavor, it's just the way black Cavendish is processed, and that's what creates the flavor and the mouthfeel that I don't really love. Next, we have some feedback from last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. This is from Ozrikhed. You are right in not using the word fashion. So I was talking about timeless style and saying that I prefer style over fashion. Fashion is something that is made with the purpose of being ugly so that it has to be replaced because people get sick of it. I get your point. I don't know if that's exactly where people are going, but I get your point. Style is something that is created with the purpose of trying to be as timeless as possible. Again, I don't know if these things were created with the purpose of that, but there are things that have been kind of sifted through generations that people keep coming back to as this has become timeless because it isn't something that is a fad or that easily goes out of style. Myself, I started dressing more in an Ivy prep style several years ago because I really liked the look, and it has the added bonus of potentially making people believe that I have more money than I actually have, which is never a bad thing. As far as recommendations for timeless pieces, I would say a blue Oxford cloth button-down from a company like Brooks Brothers or J-Press is a great shirt that everyone can make good use of, even if you don't dress Ivy prep. Also, a Barber jacket always works. Thank you, Ozrikhed. Don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but thank you. Next, from Ashes of the Phoenix. You should see my style. I'm stuck in the 80s. I like to dress like a rocker. Leather jackets and vests, rock band t-shirts, slim fit jeans, Vans and Converse, leather bracers, and a bandana. Ha ha ha. Sounds interesting. The bracers? So you mean like a leather bracer, like a cuff on your arm? It's pretty tough. Pretty tough, Ashes of the Phoenix. So many people gave me suggestions for timeless style, and I was actually kind of shocked by how much of a reaction this got. It seems like this is a really popular idea amongst many of you out there, and there are so many things that people listed. I'm going to go through, I'm not going to name everyone's name or anything, but I'm just picking out some of the things that people mentioned, and there were lots of them. I may repeat some of them in here because I was just trying to grab them and throw them all in here. But suggestions are as follows: raw denim, New Balance, Converse, I'm assuming Chuck Taylor's, Red Wing boots, a navy pea coat, M65 field jacket, cowboy boots, Levi's buttonfly jeans, Clark's desert boots, Rolex Submariner, cha-ching, I don't know if I'll be getting a hold of one of those anytime soon, Persol Steve McQueen sunglasses, Anson belt and buckle, a trench coat, Barber wax jacket, we had that mentioned by Ashes of the Phoenix, or no, that was Ozrikhed, I think. Where was I? Double monk shoes, a cricket sweater vest, Burberry traditional trench coat. If you're gonna get a trench coat, it kind of has to be a Burberry, I think. White's boots, Nick's boots. Those are both made in the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of traditional men's work boots, I think. Some brand of selvaged jeans, Filson's, Stetson, I'm assuming hats, classic tweed jacket or cap from the UK, Harris tweed sport coats, classic cotton chinos, Shetland crewneck sweaters, the classic boat shoe / loafer, any good leather dress shoes, Oxfords, etc., classic wristwatches, leather messenger bag, etc., saddle shoes, chukka boots. So lots of good suggestions there. I don't know, the final arbiter as to whether or not something is timeless or iconic style-wise will, I guess, be me. So I will go through some of these and decide if I want to try to do videos on these. It's also going to depend a lot on what I have, what I can get a hold of. I'm not rich by any means whatsoever, so a lot of these things are expensive items, and I would love it if some of these companies would send me some of these things to do reviews, but most of them probably won't, because if they are making something that is timeless and iconic, they don't need a doofus like me talking about it on YouTube in order for them to sell them. So bear that in mind. I'll try to get to some of these things, but I won't be able to get to all of them. Some of the things I have, I think I mentioned in the last video, I have a Gloverall duffel coat. I have the Baracuta Harrington jacket, which I just showed you. I have Alden Indy boots, so I think those are just a great example of kind of classic lace-up work boots. Ray-Ban Wayfarers and Aviators. I have Hunter boots. I have classic Chuck Taylors. I have a classic, just sort of, well, it's a classic style Cafe Racer leather jacket. The Fred Perry twin-tipped polo. I have a classic navy pea coat, an actual navy pea coat. I think it was made in 1966, so it's a really nice, really nice navy pea coat. Things that I would like to include in the series are, of course, the Shop Perfecto. You have to have a classic motorcycle jacket if you're going to do a series like this, and the Shot is the original motorcycle jacket. But again, that's something that is close to $900 or more, and I doubt that they would want to send me one, so I'm probably not going to be able to get a hold of one of those. Lucchese cowboy boots or ropers, something classic like that. A Burberry trench coat, as people have mentioned. Again, that's probably like $2,000 or something, so I'm definitely not buying one of those myself, and I don't think Burberry needs someone like me talking about them on video, but those are some of the things I would like to include in the series. We'll see which things I can get my hands on. I already have my hands on some good things, so we can get a good start on it. And I'll just try to intersperse these videos every once in a while. They're going to take a lot more work than my typical video, I think, so we'll see. But I'd like to get one done soon, and like I mentioned, I think the Baracuta Harrington jacket will be the first one. Next, Hogshead First Impressions. We have a comment from Hayden Hero. Really refreshing to see a video by you. I stopped getting notifications for your uploads a while ago and thought you had just stopped uploading. YouTube sucks, man. Great video. Glad you found the video, Hayden, and I've had several people say that over the months. I'm still here. I make videos every single week. I make 5 videos every single week on both of my channels, and if you guys don't see a video from me every Sunday and Wednesday on this channel and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the other channel, chances are I have a video. You just need to go to my channel and look. It's very, very rare that I don't post on those specific days every single week. Next, from Mike M. For myself, this blend is meh. There seem to be too many things going on in directions that I don't like. Lemongrass, hint of cigarette, slightly floral and tangy, weird aftertaste. Nothing about this makes me want to keep puffing. It ended up in my crap jar. I hope you have not Howard Hughes style started keeping literal jars of crap around your living area. Next, or finally, from Richard Smith. Thanks for the review, Bradley. I know what you mean. I had almost the same experience, although I use a filter, so it did take away much of the goop in the mouthfeel. I do actually like this blend, although I found it hard to S. It burns hot and seems to be sugar-cased and topped with something, but it's pretty much normal for one of their blends. I look forward to the full review. Thanks for the video. Thanks for the feedback, Richard Smith, and thank you everyone for your feedback. Please keep it coming. I really, really enjoy hearing from you, and it really helps me plan my episodes every single week because I can interact with you, see what you're into, what you're interested in, and I can talk about that. I can answer your questions. It's all good stuff. So please keep the comments and the questions coming. But now, it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. If you would like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below. You could also hit that super thanks button if you wish, but it is so appreciated. It helps pay for the fancy camera that is filming this video, the lights that are shining upon me, blends for review. It could help pay for some of those items that I'm talking about in the Timeless Style series, although I think those are a bit too expensive for that. But thank you all so much for considering supporting the channel. And if you do support the channel at $25 or more a month, you get a special shout out every single week. And I would like to shout out these people this week. Kirk Crompton, Private Eye. Just Glenn. Jason Buckner. Gloria Phillips. MDoftheNorth. Mr. Luxurious David Gaudreau. Nick Papageorgio. John Tice. And Ryan McFadin. Thank you. And of course, the crazy people, the maniacs who support the channels at $100 a month. Our good friend and award-winning author, Peter Straub, stolid and dependable Bob Magee, and Ashes of the Phoenix, who has risen from the ashes to carry this channel on his shoulders. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification bell if you don't mind. I know some people don't like that, but maybe it helps. I don't know. Who knows how YouTube shows videos to people. Just look up my channel page too if you don't see videos from me. Please stay tuned for the full review of Seattle Pipe Club Hogshead. We will be doing the Timeless Style series starting probably within the next few weeks. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Stuff and Things Plays, you can check out Elden Ring for the foreseeable future. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.